morning, everyone. My third in a row, Living Tarot Daily 3. Today I'm going to depart just a little bit because of a dream I had last night. And I'm really not much of a dreamer. I don't have many dreams, and sometimes when I do, back when I did construction, they were very petty, to me, petty dreams around the work I was doing at the time, and not particularly fulfilling on a spiritual level. So recently I've begun a Kundalini practice, which has been just blowing my mind. And in that practice, when I do a particular kriya, it always gives me these visions and these ideas. It's almost like it's an idea factory, and it's what gave me the idea to do this. And he kind of told me in one of those meditations that it was time to start dreaming more about the things that I'm doing now, the show, and the tarot, and the touring, and my spiritual life within that. And I was recently asked to perform the Living Tarot in the Arise Festival, which is a large music festival here in Denver. So I decided to stay here in Denver and do that. And then when I'd mentioned to the woman Ava, who runs the Wisdom Village, in that, about a long time idea that I've had, that I've done a few little bits of for a children's show based loosely on the same concept of the Living Tarot, but using the medicine cards. Some call them the animal cards, one of the original animal card decks. And so I'm going to be putting together, and she just loved the idea. And so now, not only am I going to be performing the Living Tarot at the Arise Festival, the first weekend in August, but in the children's camp, I'll be performing a show that I am calling Animals Alive. And in that case, there'll be a Native American elder. There's a couple of different ones that she already knows. One's from Guatemala and one's native to here. They'll be in full regalia. They'll be the guide. And then I'm training a troop of 4 people to bring the animals to life. And the children will get up and ask questions. There'll be piles of costumes of furs and feathers and beaks and ears and tails, and it's a lot of fun. The little bit that I've done, the kids love it, and you get them up running around and run out into the field as deer and rabbits, and hop around like frogs, and it's a blast. So anyway, I've not really been, to be honest, a practitioner of the medicine cards, except just in really specific instances like that. But the one thing that I have realized about myself and really come to own in these last few years is that I am not a student in the traditional sense. Even with the Tarot, I have read 7 or 8 different books, interpretations, all focused on the major arcana. I barely know the minor arcana, and some Tarot, perfectionists or purists might just say, "Oh, well, I'm missing the boat," and that may well be, and for me that's fine. Even with the medicine cards, I will read these. We're going to make up our own stories, or use the stories in the book and simplify the meanings for the children. And then what I do well is call in those energies of the animals. I don't have to study them. I listen to what comes through, and in a way, for me, it's a cleaner way of manifesting energy, with my mind not overly burdened with what different people say is the meaning of something. Like, I feel like the words, it's much like in religion. Like, my show is highly, highly spiritual, but it is not religious, because it is my belief that as soon as you put something down in words and people latch on to that and and they don't look outside those words. They forget that those words were originally a living energy. And that's why the show is called The Living Tarot, and the animal's alive. That it's my job to keep things alive, not to write them down. This is the most that I'll do in terms of writing, as far as I imagine. And sorry, a text came through right then. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Anyway, so blah 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 lecture. I guess sometimes this might feel like I'm lecturing people sometimes, and maybe I am. I don't know. I'm just doing my own stream of consciousness because it's my blog, it's my vlog, whatever we want to call it. It's my reading, but it's also a way that you're going to get to know me, and people that want to get to know me can, and understand how I think and how I feel. And if it helps you understand what I do in the show, and you like the show, or you're interested in coming, then maybe you'll get something out of this. But the reason I bring up the medicine cards was I had a dream last night, and I really and rarely dream, like I said. So this one was a dream about a bear. I think it's like the 5th card in the medicine card deck, and I rarely, golly, I real strong animal dreams, not so much. And so in this dream, I had taken a walk, and I'd come to a ravine, and I look across the ravine, and this brown bear looks up at me and staring at me, and right then the ground crumbles beneath me, and I fall down into the ravine where the bear is. And I'm landing on my back, and I land on my back, and the bear charges me and comes right up as if he's going to eat my guts, like comes down into me, and I'm folded over a little bit like this, and I just surrender to the bear. I had heard all kinds of things. You're supposed to curl into a ball and make loud noises, and I did none of that. I surrendered to the bear. And he sticks his nose down, and it hits my belly, and it tickles me, and I laugh. And right then the bear looks up at me, and his face is right here, and we just make eye contact, and all of a sudden there's this deep sense of knowing and friendship. And it it really affected me. It was really beautiful. And so I looked it up. I'm going to read you a little section out of the medicine cards by Jamie Sams and David Carson. You should get the, if you're interested in this kind of divination, oracle, by all means, it can really help you. It's going to help me, I realize, really move me back into nature. And I've worked out in nature a lot, but just being in nature, I'm under natured. So I'm going to read the little part that was really affected me in this. It said, to become like bear and enter the safety of the womb cave, we must attune ourselves to the energies of the eternal mother and receive nourishment from the placenta of the great void. The great void is the place where all solutions and answers live in harmony with the questions that fill our realities. If we choose to believe that there are many questions to life, we must also believe that the answer to these questions reside within us. Each and every being has the capacity to quiet the mind, enter the silence, and know. Many tribes have called this space of inner knowing the dream lodge, where the death of the illusion of physical reality overlays the expansiveness of eternity. It is in the dream lodge that our ancestors sit in council and advise us regarding alternative pathways that lead to our goals. This is the power of the bear. The female receptive energy that for centuries has allowed visionaries, mystics, and shamans to prophesy is contained in this very special bear energy. So for me, on this path of changing my life completely and purely giving myself over to a dream that has long been building in me of that my right livelihood is to do what I'm doing now, to do the Living Tarot, to do a children's show, to be a channel of divine energy in whatever format comes to me, is given to me. is shown to me in dreams. And if nothing else, that's what I want to encourage each of you to do. We all have our own gifts. We all have our own qualities that make us unique. Um, Not everybody is designed to do what I do, and I am not designed by any means to do what other people do. I have recently, not even that recent anymore, it's probably been 5 or 6 months, when a woman from Switzerland contacted me through a bizarre series of, of events, and we have become pen pals. And she's a little hermit in some small town in Switzerland, and we have the best relationship writing back and forth. It's really quite stunning. She is a brilliant archetypal thinker and an amazing student of words and etymology, and I treasure our friendship. And I've never had someone that I just have a relationship with based on the kind of knowledge that means so much to me, and she brings so much to my life. And just know that you can be a hermit in Switzerland, in a little place. And not only that, she's going through incredible hardships. Like, her family home is getting ready to be repossessed, one that her mother and father built. And so on top of everything else, she's writing me these long letters of giving me the histories of in a way, the tarot, and the beauty of words, and the beauty of these archetypes and where they come from. And for me, I'm a horrible student. I could the books and the pictures that she sends me, I could never wade through those, but she succinctly tells me. And Pauline, hi, and I appreciate you so much. And Cristiano, who left me some information on the chariot yesterday in the comment section. Hi. So one thing that's changing is, like, this is a blog, and I've never done one before. And my social media guy says, oh, we need to make this into an official blog and automate it more. So maybe it will leave YouTube. Maybe it'll be something that I just send out to people. I don't really know how any of this stuff works, and thank God there's people that are helping me. So this might change. It might go off of YouTube. It might, I don't know. But for right now, I'm having a blast, and realized, that if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the comments. Yesterday I did my question was from the galaxy about depression, and I kind of offhandedly said that because it was just like it had come into me, like, about my method is saying, well, if it's coming through me, then it must be coming through other people, and I'm going to talk about that. It's not about me. It's something I've wrestled with, so I'm sure other people have wrestled with it, and I'm sure that's true. So we're going to continue now on to the purpose of the Daily Three, on top of me just blah, blah, blah. But hopefully you like the blah, blah, blah. So let's see. I guess since it's up, and what I continue to enjoy confirmation of is that of my path. And for all of you out there that are on a path or seeking a path, just know that there is information coming at you all the time that will confirm for you that you're on this right path, or even that you're needing to make small changes or change your life completely. And those are really important voices to listen to. And the thing that's been really helpful to me, because this is such a strange thing to be like, I channel archetypal energy. That's what I do for a living. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. See you later. And so it's not always that I'm going to get confirmation from the average person that I meet, or that I tell what I'm doing. And sometimes I get these blank stares like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And that's okay. Thank God everybody's different, right? Each one of us. And so I really enjoyed in the dream last night, and then reading in the medicine card book, the kind of confirmation that bear energy is the energy of shamans and mystics, because I've long considered myself a mystical Christian. I've had the archetypes of Christianity after long being a pagan, but after some amazing rituals in which Jesus Christ and Archangel Michael came to me and physically entered my body, and I felt what those energies felt like. So for years, even though that might push some buttons of some of the pagans, it's like, hey, tough luck. That is archetypal energy that exists. That religion does not exist because there's nothing there, because it's all made up. There is real energy. Whether Christ actually walked this earth, and this may push some buttons, I do not know. I know that that energy is present to those of us that walk on earth, and that's all I care about. I want, whether I believe in the Immaculate Conception, whether I believe in the Bible is not important. Can it come alive for me? Can I make it alive for other people? Just the way now I'm moving into kind of these Eastern traditions, and things are starting to come alive, and maybe I'm just gonna have like 12 different traditions that I practice just to stay and keep those energies alive in me, because they are everywhere. And the more each of us can get in touch with the archetypal energies of what is present all around us and in our souls, then the better off this world is going to be, and the more mystical our religions can become, because they have become so boring and so about words and so about dominating what exactly we are supposed to do. Instead of, it's like they take our sovereignty from us. And what I hope to do is give each one of us a little bit of our sovereignty back, of our own spiritual uh, manifestations in the world. Because each one of us can be like Christ. Each one of us can be like Buddha. Each one of us can be like the Tibetan masters. Whatever you follow, whatever you believe in, whatever like floats your boat and gets you going, by all means follow that. And you don't have to worry so much about studying it. Find ways to feel it, manifest it inside your body, and make it real. Create little rituals for yourself that make that deity or that God or that energy real. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry. I was just trying to do a reading, right? Okay, here we go. Got my cards. Okay. So I guess my question is, I'm going to just ask this question today, is how can we further access these energies from the divine and make them real in our everyday life? How can I and we take these energies from all these different belief systems and astral energies that are pouring down on us every day? How can we find them and manifest them and make them real? So, a lot of talking just to get to a card spread, huh? This will be a fast one, because I can't do like 40-minute things. I don't think people will stay and listen. So anyway, and in these cards, how much do you believe? What do you believe? Do you believe that a card can guide you, can tell you? I don't think it has anything to do with a card. I think it has to do with the energies that are manifest, like the magician manifests and makes things real by imbuing things with energy. And that's what these cards are. They're imbued with this energy. So in the position of the challenge, we have the hangman. The position, oh God, unbelievable. The position of the action, we have the chariot. Chariot, 3 days in a row. You think Lolita's trying to tell me something? Lolita's my best, by the way. And oh my God, it's almost like a reverse of yesterday's reading. And in the position of the transformation, we have the hermit. Wow. Okay. Just never ceases to amaze me. And the hangman, God, it's like all three of these cards, I've only done 3 readings so far, and all 3 cards of these 3 cards have shown up before. So, the challenge is very much like I was talking about before. The hangman. Um, this is the Rider-Waite deck. It's so primary, and a lot of people get this and think, "Oh my God, the man is hanging." But check out the halo around his head, and he's hanging in a total position of surrender. His hands are behind his back, but it's not a position where they're tied. It's a position of absolute surrender, which is interesting because of the dream I had last night about the bear, which is surrendering. It's almost like this card is the closest manifestation to the dream last night of what happens when we surrender. Um, uh, so the hangman, he is surrendered to the fact that he doesn't know everything. He has surrendered to the fact that he needs a new perspective on the world, just like you need a new perspective on the world, and I constantly need a new perspective on the world, because otherwise my ego takes a hold of things and says, oh, I know this and I know that. Well, I might have known that yesterday, but the day's energies change every day completely. So this is telling me you're on the right path. Continue to surrender to this energy. And I think it's telling you, it's telling all of us that it's time to shake things up, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. It is time to rethink the way you do your life, and rethink the way you think about spirituality, the way you think about what you do in this world. These are dark times, and it's requiring each of us to step up. And so let's step up and gain a new perspective on what the hell we are doing in this world, so that we can each, what's the phrase, be the change that we wish for, or be the change that we want. That's the other thing I'm doing. I'm just a friggin' cheerleader for life. I'm a cheerleader for you. I want us all to rise above. And my buddy the chariot comes in the position of the action once again. Wow. I wish I had, Christian, thank you for giving me the depth of the chariot. Both of the times that I've done the Living Tarot on a major scale, it came as almost as something that I could not do. I know that's a double negative, but that's what it is. Like, it was impossible to ignore the calling. And I have a feeling that everybody had a woman in the show a few days ago that was talking about wanting to do ritual. And she was sick of her job, and it was sucking her dry. And she had the most beautiful smile. And so we created ritual after ritual for each of her cards about her becoming a shaman, for a better word, of freeing her mind. How important it is to free our mind so that it stops getting in the way of our will. You know what? I mean, that's one thing that I have somehow been really good at, and I thank the powers that be, that when I decide that I'm going to do something, no matter how radical it is, no matter whether my friends go, "What? Are you crazy?" that I will jump in with all 3 feet. And I think for me and for you, the chariot, it is our card, us, me and you and the world. We have to get out of our mind and all those things. Oh, her thing was her job and car payments, and how am I going to do that? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's how the illusion in the bear energy, it was talking about breaking through the illusion. This world is an illusion, as they say in the Santa Daime. It is an illusion. We are stuck in this mental illusion that we have to get a job, and we have to do it this way, and we have to play by all the rules, and it is a lie, a lie, a lie. All right, note to self. Do not disturb the phone when I'm videoing. So in this lie, our brain comes in and our fears come in, and we give them all this power. We give our fears so much power that they overtake us. And the chariot says, get out of that. You're going to use your will. You are going to control these forces that are within you of like, oh, the voice and the dream and the voice and the dream and the no's and the yeses. And you are going to control them with your will. And you are going to guide them using your intuition and using all these other, the hangman's going to give you a new perspective. Listen to it, right? Listen to it. Stop. If your partner isn't behind you, then you start training your partner how to support you. People need training. A lot of people don't know how to support one another. Well, we start by supporting our friends. I said something about it yesterday. If you want respect, you give respect. If you want support, you support your friends in all their dreams and visions. And if you feel like they're out of whack, you can be honest with them. Be gentle, but be honest about you feel like, wow, you've got such a beautiful heart. Why would you want to do something like that? That's not, I see you as so much bigger than that. I see you doing these great things. Support each other in this, look, where we're all riding these chariots like in Ben-Hur side by side, but we're not taking out each other's wheels and trying to destroy the other person. We are all racing together to improve this planet and to increase awareness about the challenges that we're in and ways to overcome that. So the chariot, rock on the chariot, get your own Lolita, travel the world. That Lolita might be a bike. It might be you walk down the street and talk to people on the street corners. Everybody's different. Just do it. And interesting that the challenge is, maybe for me, it's one of my hardest lessons, the hermit, how to shut the hell up. Oh, God. My beautiful friend Jill and my lady is always telling me I talk too much, and it is so true. Thank God now, maybe I'll get it out of my system by doing more of these videos, because I do talk a lot, and I talk a lot in the show, and even the cards. There's in the Pamela Eakins Tarot of the Spirit, which is my favorite tarot interpretation book. She talks about the magician is not about talking about it. In fact, you should shut up and just manifest. And I think the hermit, in a way, in this position is saying that's what happens in the transformation, that once you've surrendered and once you are on the road and acting in manifestation, it's time to just be and let the light that is going to come into you and from you shine. And that is what will draw people, and that is what will keep you happy, is that light that's manifesting from your very being and from who you've become. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for the daily number 3 days in a row. I've now done this at the same time. Technical difficulties, didn't get the last one up till midnight, but I hope to have worked that out. And so stay in touch, comment, go to livingtarot.org, go to my Facebook page, Living Tarot, and like it, and follow it, and subscribe to it, and all those things will help me spread to more and more people, and that's my goal. I'm not doing this just for myself. I really want to reach out to people because I feel like what I'm doing is important and can help people. So help me help other people, support me, send money to davidrose69@gmail, on PayPal, on Venmo. I need support doing this. It's expensive to be out in a bus touring and challenging, and it's not like I didn't leave debts behind or anything like that. So that's my spiel. Love you all, and we'll see you again tomorrow.